This is the Variety Show 2024. Now, I want to do a video about a few things. This is a different twist on a few different things I want to combine. So let's start with the Idaho killer in Moscow, Idaho, Bryan Kohberger, and he killing those 4 students. You probably know the case in Idaho with Bryan Kohberger, who's going to serve a life sentence for killing 4 college students for no reason, because he was mentally ill, he was deranged, he was evil, wicked, one of the most horrific crimes ever, that everyone is horrified at what happened for Idaho. No reason, senseless. This guy is, just as evil can be, showed no remorse for it. But I want to tie it in with religion and atheists. I want to put it, this is a different twist on what happened. And mainly I'm going to say atheists, but also Christians, but mainly atheists. Now, a sticking point with atheists is bad people going to hell, the whole hellfire thing, and forgiveness. Now, what Bryan Kohberger did seems almost unforgivable. And he's not even asking for forgiveness. He's, from what I understand, he's cold as cold can be. He showed no remorse. He sat in that courtroom with this blank stare as the victims were screaming at him, and he just sat there with a blank stare. So this guy is evil, wicked, as wicked can be. And so I'm going to put it this way. So for atheists, mainly, let's start with atheists. Pretend you're God. As an atheist, pretend you're God. And Bryan Kohberger dies, and he goes to you to be judge. What would you do with him? Would you forgive him? He's showing no remorse. Let's say he goes to you for judgment. You're God. What are you going to do with a guy like that, Bryan Kohberger? What are you going to do with him? I'm not really sure what I would do. Maybe I would want to torture him in hellfire. Maybe I would want to torture him. I don't know if I would torture him for all of eternity, but I definitely, he would deserve some kind of punishment, some kind of consequence for what he did. Are you going to forgive him? Is this forgivable? He's first of all, he's not even asking for forgiveness. Even if he did ask for forgiveness, would you grant it to him? So it's just there. With regard to hellfire, if you're a Christian, what would you do with Bryan Kohberger, someone that evil on that level of wickedness? So you can understand that there may be a purpose, and hopefully it's rare, that a God would eternally torture someone by putting them in hellfire, whatever that is, wherever that is. A God would do that to someone. If it's a level of evil like a Bryan Kohberger, you'd really have to think about that before you say that what you think of God putting people in hell, which is a sticking point for a lot of atheists to accept the Christian God. So that's thought-provoking. What would you do if you had to decide punishment for eternity for Bryan Kohberger, considering how wicked it was that he did? I certainly would consider torturing him for what he did. If I was, let's just say if I was God, I would consider torturing him. I don't know if I would torture him for eternity, but definitely he would be getting some type of torture. And depending on his attitude beyond that, then I would have to assess how much more punishment he would get in some kind of hell. So that's just a different twist on all of this, atheists and hell and forgiveness. You can leave me your comments, Variety Show 2024.